So as I'm completely incapable of making my own YouTube content, I instead have to criticize capitologies, but that's what we're here for. So let's get stuck.
The 2020
And he's already been talking for a minute and there's just nothing to say because he's just talking. But I have to watch it all in order
talk
to
about how to
provide
do
any
this, I want to
commentary
talk
on it,
about
right?
what good TPs are.
Yeah.
The first fight we'll look at is from Crazy Raccoon versus Twisted Minds, Circuit, a map they lost horribly. Let's watch the fight. When Twisted Minds TPs in directly on top in windows, Crazy Raccoon has to give all the space and break their shield.
Yet another case of capitology having AIDS, by the way. Twisted Minds, like, I swear this guy is completely blind to the alt economy. Like, I'm so convinced that this guy has a hole in his head. Like, Simple just swung a corner, used a window, and Crazy Raccoon have fully kited it without even using their TP. TP is like the most valuable cooldown in this entire comp. Simple just used an ult. I'm pretty sure Yubi used his TP in the neutral engagement. Simple already can't see anything with his fucking window. Crazy Raccoons still have everything. So they've kited the corner. Yeah, they've lost some of their shield, but they are about to have their own window. They still have their TP. They haven't given all of the space. The card is already on this corner. If this card is here, you don't hold hard for here. If the card is already over here, if it's already been pushed quite far around the corner, you're holding for here. That's just how the game works. But classic capping capitology does it again. They've given all the space, even though the best space on the map is where Crazy Raccoon are right now. Even though Simple just used an ult and didn't get a kill. He's given all the space, and it's fucking classic cap.
Directly on top in windows, Crazy Raccoon has to give all the space and break their shield. Heesang tries to go bottom left to get a little bit of space back, but at this point, the beat push is coming, and we've given every inch of map space.
Maybe the issue is that we just fucking TP'd over to the side. Maybe he's saying setting up a car wash 100,000 meters away from where anything is happening instead of holding at a good angle or cutting over to the corner from the start and then using his TP to actually do something valuable and apply some pressure in the middle of the fight would have been a better thing than TPing into a corner and setting up a car wash somewhere where nobody is going to come ever. You know, you want to understand like good versus bad sim play. Like, get a look at this. I'll hide my YouTube search results so you can't see like 500 recent searches of like, am I balding or whatever. We'll go like, you see here, the way that these sim comps work. I'm just going to quickly refresh your memory because it's been so long on what Capitology's viewpoint was. Capitology's viewpoint was that here, at this moment in the fight, that Crazy Raccoon have lost the fight because they have walked away from a window without using any of their major cooldowns. Because Max's Sigma shield is half health and Simple has used an ultimate with no angle, he thinks that the game is over. He thinks that this is a genius play coming out from the side of Twisted Minds, and the Crazy Raccoon have completely shit the sheets. But the moment the Crazy Raccoon actually shit the sheets is when Heesang does this. It is when Heesang, in a safe position, uses his teleporter like a fucking troglodyte. This moment here, where nothing's happening, this angle is good. I'll give it to you. But Sim is all about pre-positioning. Sim is all about understanding the flow of the fights. You can outplay a beat push with a TP. You can outplay anything with a TP, and you can take a fantastic neutral fight on the stretch where they are right now. Look at this now. Look at this. We're entering the realms of fantasy, folks. Step in. And mind you, this is not a pro proper. This is a all Koreans that aren't named Checkmate can't play Sim. First fight, proper, teleporter, up onto the high ground. Great angle. Looks great, right? This is the same in principle thing as what Heesang did. He has TP'd over to the side of the fight where he has a great angle to shoot people in the side. But what you need to recognize as Symmetra is that if your TP breaks, you're going to die. And I'm pretty sure here that Ziad has recognized that there's a TP on the ground, he's shielded, he's formed, and he has broken the TP. So what do you think is going to happen to Proper now that he is on this incredible juicer of an angle over to the side? Oh, look, Lubda just turned his head and railed him. And Landon just turned his head and railed him. And everyone's fucking screaming down the mic, Simba, and then Checkmate is going to go, oh, okay. Wrong fight, wrong moment. It's actually the next fucking layer of them. He does this twice. For God's sake, does he stay up here this long? Okay, he does the same TP again. It happens twice. This time around, Checkmate TP's on him and kills him. And everyone crashes out. It's not just Checkmate, right? Checkmate TP's up, Libda slides up, Landon TP's on, and now Proper is dead. First fight, Apparently, few too many cooldowns already invested. Second fight, second layer, Proper still stayed up top. The problem is he broke his own TP. The problem is that he's playing a greedy angle where he can get caught, you know? Like, you need to get to these angles without investing your TP, or at least be able to pop back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I remember watching this in the moment and being like, you know, just juice an angle, but there's a cost to it, right? If you use the TP to be really, really greedy individually and have no team play element to your TPs, you're going to lose the game. Like, that is the fundamental tenet of these sim comps. Like, Proper has to carry the game from this angle and tap everyone from this great angle, because this is obviously a good angle. If he's a hit scan player, if he's a Genji player, this is a great angle, right? And he's a flex DPS player, so he's both of these things. But he's always spamming his TP to have the best angle for himself. Checkmate is keeping the TP available to have more choice later in the fight and opportunities to do stuff for his team. You see, Proper TP'd both times. This time around, Proper's up top. Maybe they didn't even know that Proper's TP was broken, to be honest. Maybe they didn't even realize it was outrageous. But the second time, you can see they really instantly react to this shit. I kind of like glossed over it before because I was a little bit astounded that it didn't kill him the first time. But here, TP's up. TP's in main. TP's broken. Now everyone, Simno TP, look at everyone staring him down. Checkmate already TPing on. Libda staring it down. Landon, TP on. Insta Suzu, win this, win the game, you know? Like, it's just individualist greed. And this is what you see from these like less experienced Symmetras. And this is, now to get back to the initial point, this is what Heesang did in another way, where like they kited the first layer, and then Heesang has put himself somewhere that's terrible to draw aggro. This room right here is not a great room to draw aggro because it's really, really safe. And he's like over investing on the safeness of it to the point that he's poking and he's being risk averse. Like, he sees the D.Va. The D.Va doesn't even TP on him. And he's straight away kiting all the way back, no risk, car washing, doing nothing. So his team can just be pushed in main. They beat push, they're running down Shu, they're running down Max. Heesang has been AFK for like 5 seconds, you know? And even when he was on this side angle, he wasn't being like a nice juicy target where he's like, come get me, come kill me, motherfuckers, but shift on me and then lamp after me and then flux my corpse and boulder shot behind. No, I'm gonna hide in a corner and just play my life without being shot by anyone. I'm just gonna hope that if I sit here in a corner with an invisibility cloak, that I'll be fine. But again, like, the problem is that he's used this TP. He's used this TP when he's had a real opportunity to win it for his team. To TP somewhere more aggressively and do something, because Simple used an ult and they kited it for free. Or they can play further back, wait until the beat push comes out, TP your BAP away to safety, you know? Like, many an option. But Capitology thinks that the game was lost here when Crazy Raccoon kited an ult 1-for-0. So again, hashtag kill Cap with hammers. Let's get that trending if possible, because that's what I need. That's what I really need, to be honest. All right, let's see. Next fight analysis. We're only 3 minutes into the video and I already want to kill Cap with a hammer, so. Okay, what's going on? Analysis, anytime, any second now, mate. Any second.
Even though we use ults to fight back, it's way too late. Twisted Mind's setup is way too good, and this fight is super cut and dry in their favor.
Twisted Mind's setup is way too good. If you just ignore all of the cooldowns that came out from either side, and you ignore the fact that Crazy Raccoon are in the best position on the entire map at the time that they die, and it's just a 4v5, and you ignore the fact that Heesang was out of the fight the whole time Twisted Mind's beat pushed, then yeah, Twisted Mind's setup is just too damn perfect.
So how do we stop a good TP? Falcons knows the answer. Don't let them get to the spot where you make the good TP. Of course, it's easier said than done, but if you watch the way Falcons holds this map, it's obviously way more difficult for Alcatia to get the same good TP off.
Come in for Merit. Below 2 minutes on the clock, Mitch. Support ult's gone from both sides.
Already here, you can see someone is slowing the rotate.
Annihilation gone for Alcatia. This one.
As soon as Checkmate steps up to try and
is he watching on like non-HD quality right now?
this one
As soon as Checkmate steps
This motherfucker is making a YouTube video and he's not watching the video on HD.
up to try and get the
Did he do anything right?
TP off, someone immediately drops his shield and forms on him
Unreal.
to pressure him away. If Checkmate goes for this TP now, it's not going to be very good. Everyone on Falcons can fight this TP pretty easily. His only other option is to back up or fight the Ram here. Both
It's
things-
bad internet. It's a YouTube video. You can buffer as much as you like.
things that are not very ideal for them. Now, there are pros and cons to using CDs early like this.
He's not making this live.
They might be able to fight and kill someone here, but they're definitely not going to get off a good TP, and Falcons is going to have way easier counterplay with their own ults.
would get out of control quick. Here they come.
Someone walks in, Merit's able to have space for the overclock,
Special guest in the audience,
and with no good
folks.
TP, Al-Qadsi is stuffed in a
Everyone set
locker.
up to see this, including many influential dignitaries.
1 for 0 ult kite. Again, by the way, again, this guy actually has brain damage. We just watched Falcons try to spawn fight. They're not holding here. They're trying to spawn fight. They're going forward and fighting. They're not just like blocking the TP on the corner. They just used overclock and Alcad perfectly kited it. And he's saying that this is so good and that Alcad is stuffed into a locker. Hello? Team Falcons just used overclock and got no kills. Al-Qadsiya just fucking kited a 1 for 0 ultimate.
And now they have to try it again.
And why not?
You're watching a positive scene for Alcad and you're describing it as a positive for Falcons and a negative for Alcad. Even though what Alcad have just done in both of the scenes you've shown so far is an insane kite. This is just L-fact all the way.
More of a banger from Al-Qadsi if they get-
Yeah.
Here you can see the strength of the way Falcons.
Why not? Hoping for a banger from Al-Qadsi if they get-
Here you can see the strength of the way Falcons controls the early fight setup and how difficult it is to get off a good TP. I said earlier there's two main things you need to do to beat symmetric comp. First one's stopping a good TP, and Crazy Raccoon is going to fail to do that throughout the rest of the series.
Like, the only important moment in this whole scene is here.
And why not? Hoping for more of a banger.
And this is just Ziad's fault. Because they're swinging in main, and you can see that Falcons are holding up, and Ziad doesn't have a shield up. That's it. That's it. Anything happening here on this cross, you need to go step by step and have your sim coming up from the high ground, taking the angle a little slower. Or you need to TP underneath first and go slow and kite inside so it's hard for you to be pushed. Or you need to use your shield before you swing. But you can see they're all out in the open and someone's using his shield so everyone can peek. And if someone's going to shield and everyone on Falcons is going to peek, then Ziad needs to match with his own shield. It's not some fucking genius from Falcons. Mind you, Falcons just clocked and got 0 kills for it. It's just Ziad fucked up. Checkers fucked up. Like, I kill cat with cameras. Let's get that LFAPsitology. Yeah.
Here you can see the
I love it when
strength
you're
of the way
passionate,
Falcons
thanks.
Controls the early fight setup and how difficult it is to get off a good TP. I said earlier there's two main things you need to do to beat symmetric comp. First one's stopping a good TP, and Crazy Raccoon is going to fail to do that throughout the rest of the series. The second one is punishing these TPs. Even if you stop the good TP from happening, they might still get an okay TP, and you're not always going to be able to stop it. You need to be able to punish these TPs, especially if they're from map flips or rotations.
He's off to HD. He's off to HD now, so respect to that. He's
Now,
graduated to
observant, you might
HD.
say there's a really big difference between Falcons and Crazy Raccoon. The comps Crazy Raccoon were playing here and on circuit are very bad at forcing bad TPs and fighting TPs. To that I would
It's
say,
nuanced.
yes. I don't know why Crazy Raccoon is doing this. I did not tell them to put Max in to play the worst hero in the game on Circuit Royale. A big part of beating strong meta comps like this is not dying on your own sword and realizing when it's time to swap the fuck off of Monkey. If you watch this fight, Crazy Raccoon fails to stop the good TP, and afterwards they fail to punish the TP.
This team, by the way, realizing when it's time to swap the fuck off Monkey. This team won Lijiang Tower 2-0 on Monkey, by the way. Like, on the comp that they're on right now, they won 2-0.
As well.
You gotta drop the ego and get off Monkey. He actually just hates when Korean people pick Monkey.
Here they're not able to stop this TP at all. Jumpin can't poke the walk up, Heesang and Lip are both really struggling to duel Quartz. This is an angle TP for Quartz, and it's really easy for him to just force out Junbin with the slow. Jumpin gets Bubble and Suzu forced to live, and Twisted Minds is able to get a nice map flip here. We failed to stop the good TP, but we might still be able to punish this rotation.
Did we talk about the TP?
It's really and Lipsy to just struggle. Here they're not.
The TP was like here, right?
Here they're not able to stop this TP at all. Jumpin can't poke the walk up. Heesang
Yeah.
and Lip are both
It's like-
really
it's like
struggling
over
with
here.
boards. The Minds is able to get
The
a nice
TP was
map
like kind of like
We
behind the
failed to
pillar,
stop
like
the
they
good
got close to the
TP, but we
monkey.
might still be able to punish this rotation. Except we are on fucking monkey. Crazy Raccoon is about to use 4 ults. Lip starts with Bola. We're going to use both support ults and a barrage. And we're going to fail to punish this map flip simply because Junbin is not able to do anything. That looked super fun, right? If you find yourself on a character or comp that is not able to stop these TPs and is not able to punish TPs, you're on the wrong character.
Winston's historically terrible at running, punishing rotations. Yeah, I mean, I just want to know, like, what does he want Jumpman to play instead? You know what I mean? Like, it's really obvious. Because I think it's just, like, so, like, bizarre to think that, like, the criticism of this map pick, like, this comp, is, like, why are they playing this? You know what I mean? Like, it's really hard to play ball on this map and carry. Like, it's actually impossible to play ball on this map and carry versus Sim. Like, Coliseum is not a good ball map, you know? Like, it's not a flashpoint map where there's all these high grounds that you can, like, boot people out on into really awkward space. Like, Coliseum is not... The middle fight on this map is impossible. Like, yeah, ball, it's jumping. You're a fucking idiot. Like, take a week off the chat if you think that he should be on fucking ball instead of monkey. Like, you're an idiot. But this comp right here is, like, it's Crazy Raccoon's best bet to beat Twisted Minds. Because if they put Max in, Max is going to get smoked. They can't take the ground tank mirror. We've already seen, even though Capitology didn't actually say anything about it, but, you know, I've already explained to you why Heesang is poo at Sim. This team is not good at Sim, you know? Like, it's really hard to beat Twisted's comp. Twisted's comp is really good. Like, I think this right here, what Crazy Raccoon are on, it's their best bet. And they won 2-0 on Lee Jang with it. They went to, like, overtime on map 5 with it. Like, so close. Really slim margins of error. It's basically Crazy Raccoon's signature comp, mind you. Like, you sub out the monkey and the ball, and it's Crazy Raccoon's signature comp. Shu could be on Anna as well, but you can't play Anna into Sim at all. But this base of, like, Heesang on Farah, Lucia for Charong, a divey hit scan, a divey tank, like, it's just bread and butter for Crazy Raccoon, right? It's completely base level for them.
This map flip simply because Junbin is not able to do anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to play anything into Twisted Minds as comp, you know? Like, there's a reason that Twisted Minds came third and Alcacia came second at this tournament. Like, truly. And, like, the times that Falcons win, it's because Falcons have somebody that's actually really good at the push-pull in the ground tank style. Like, Falcons' most successful metas are the ones where they can play these ground tanks. And it's like, Proper and Merit were both going absolutely ballistic, you know? Like, everyone been saying that Proper's the best venture in the world. Like, Proper's for sure going to be a better venture than Heesang, because Proper's just #1, you know? And then Merit was having, like, a life performance on Sojourn throughout that entire series. But, like, neither Junbin nor Max can play Ram the way that Old Mate is playing. And I don't think Shu's strengths are the same as Fielder either for these comps. So really, like, I think this approach for Crazy Raccoon, like playing into what their strength definitely is so much more reasonable than squaring up in a mirror where you know you're weaker. And then if we talk about, like, this fight here in particular, it's like, yeah, what's the moment where the game is thrown? It's probably when the TP happened and the slow came out and Jumba didn't press E right this second, you know? Like, you're in the slow right now. You need to not get something forced. You need to, like, E and walk away and get around a corner, or E and back jump to the high ground fast and then get ready for your next turn. But instead, everything got burned here, including Shu Suzu, you know?
And it's really easy for him to just
Falcons also plot armor because Liquid's first in rating after chest. True. Here, like, E comes out a second too late, and by the time he's E'd, they've come out of the TP, they've come around the corner, they break the bubble. You're playing monkey. It's like a really, really slim margin of error, right? Like that's how the game works at this level. Like if you're talking about like why did he win or lose in a situation and you're playing a comp like this, everything needs to be perfect. Everything needs to be perfect or you're going to lose. That's just how it works, you know? That if you watch him play on Li Jiang, you'll see everything is perfect. Like he's getting away on 5 HP again and again and again. But here, it's harder to ping pong the cart because it's a straight line on the map. And he is a little bit late on his bubble, and Shu uses the Suzu at the same time as his jump. So too many cooldowns have been invested. And it's just done at that point because you've lost card control. And then here, like next turn, like the ult exchange, Cap's incredible summary of the analysis is just get the fuck off monkey, you know? Cap's incredible analysis is you're just a fucking idiot for playing monkey and you should just get the fuck off monkey. Here, right now, card is held on the corner. Card is held on the corner. Jumbin is 533 HP with bubble. They go for a beat when Heesang is 97% on Barrage. If they could keep holding on the corner, beat and Barrage together, they would win. Plain and simple. If they could combo beat and Barrage, instead of layering them poorly, instead of Heesang barraging at 120 HP, they could win. And then nobody would be saying, why is Crazy Raccoon one of the best, if not the best monkey teams in the whole world? Why are they playing monkey? Like, it's just insane hindsight analysis from Cap because he hates to see people playing heroes that they're good at. And then when he watches them play heroes that they're bad at, like here, he can't even figure out why. He doesn't even know why because he watches the game and he thinks that when you kite to the best space on the map, that you've given up all the space on the map. Classic Capitology. A classic Capia. Next fight.
With Bola, we're going to use
Awful ult layering fight? Yeah, exactly, because they beat it for nothing when Jumbin was fine with car control and cover and bubble and jump, and then Heesang was 97% on Barrage. If they beat Barrage together, game is done. Game is so winnable, and then Jumbin can jump back in with one of the bubble or the jump that he's kept, and everything can be fine. But here, Shu's trying to swing around a corner with a Kitsune Rush. Did you take into account angle theory? I didn't take into account angle theory, but I did take into account vision theory. And you can see that the actual issue here is that Jumbin isn't vision maxing.
That looked super fun, right? If you find yourself on a character or comp that is not able to stop these TPs and is not able to punish TPs, you're on the wrong character.
Did you know that this comp is really good at punishing TPs because this has big AoE rockets and this has big AoE jumping damage and then an AoE 5-man zap, and this has big AoE damage and an ult that kills everyone outside of the choke, and then these are 2 mobile supports that are hard to get caught out and flip everywhere with these 3 mobile characters? Did you know that this is probably the best angle comp for the map? It's probably a terrible idea.
Here's another fight from the Grand Finals where Falcons is able to actually punish a TP, mostly because of the comp difference, but also because of the way they stop the good TP from happening. In this fight, someone does the same kind of stuffing, preventing Checkmate from getting this good TP off. Alcadzia commits 2 ults to try and force someone away so they can get this good TP off, and Falcons matches with ults of their own, trying to keep the space.
To work with now, but it's going to be a Kitsune Rush from Landon, reciprocated. We got pavement everywhere as Ziad tumbles into the backline of Falcons, but they keep themselves safe behind these barriers.
Okay, so already, I think we can talk about the fact that Checkmate, before you can even start watching, you can see that Checkmate has thrown the game here because he's angled his sim wall so poorly that they can't swing with it. As you can see here, the sim wall is like inside the wall here. So even though what they want to do is swing with this sim wall, cut off some of the DPS angles in main and walk up through main, walk through the cart, what you want is your sim wall slicing through the cart so you can push all the way across the cart and go really deep. But Checkmate has fucked up his wall and put it inside a wall, which means you can't use it for anything. So now Ziad wants to swing deep, but he can't go to the backline because the wall is so shallow that the backline can just play here and he can't reach them without standing in the wall. So will we talk about this? Let's find out.
Everything here is mostly fine from both teams, but if you watch, there's
It's mostly fine. It's only the ult fight, and the game-winning ult has been fucked up.
one thing that's really important. Since Falcons use their ults to keep the corner, Checkmate has to go for this kind of okay value TP instead of the super high value one that they want. This TP is easy for Falcons to punish. And they're immediately going to beat push past it and kill everybody who didn't take it.
Waiting Ziad's still 30% away from his Ramatra ultimate, and all Falcons have been able to do now is just to go for it. Sound barrier. It's time to throw caution to the wind and take to the skies. Kellex the land.
Now, a large part of the reason Falcons is able to play this way is their comp, but the comp is a reflection of your game plan.
Huh? Didn't cut that take? What do you mean?
Falcons understands how to win this matchup, and that's why they pick the characters.
Did you consider he screwed up the wall because Falcons pressed checkers? If that was his point, then maybe he should have made said point instead of showing the fight and saying that it was fine. Just ignore the beat push. Oh, I'm going to talk about the beat push.
Crazy Raccoon failed to understand the matchup, and that's why they picked the wrong characters. If we go to Blizzard World, there's...
Yeah, I mean, I watched this fight and I kind of get the feeling that maybe the problem is that Kellex is 82% on beat and Cheer has beat, and Kellex gets to, like, doesn't get to build the beat in time. He had a blooper moment. Oh, okay. I guess I was not paying attention to his exact wording. But yeah, like here, right now, this would be so exceptionally winnable if Kellex farm beat before they go for like their next push turn and their next TP in deep. But instead,
they're immediately going to...
you know, even here, like in this exact moment, the beat push is still something that's like, I don't know, like if I think really, really so winnable. Like if one thing was different, if one thing was different, then it would be okay. He's talking about the TP and he's talking about like the positional value of the TP. That wasn't Cap's point. He just made everything up. Oh, I mean, I just think that like for this fight, the obvious thing that matters here is the fact that Cheer gets to beat push and Kellex doesn't have his beat. And if they are 80% on two ults and they are 100% on two ults, like, you know, 92 and 96, then like you don't want to be playing really fast into that because they're going to get the ults and you're going to lose. So it's like, it's not so much about like the positions of these TPs. Like this fight would play the same no matter what. Whether you put a TP here or you put a TP here, doesn't matter. The problem is that you put down a TP and it wasn't something to kite with, you know? Like it needed to be something that you could kite with, or it needed to be something that instantly wins you the game. And he's saying that a TP back here will instantly win you the game. That's just plainly untrue. Because if 5 people flip back here, then 5 people from this team will flip around to the other side of the card and use the card cover and use this side of the wall. There's no TP that will like instantly win you the game in a corner like this because it's a really hard corner to break, essentially. But the problem and a consistent theme with regards to Capitology is that he doesn't realize that this game is all about ults all the time, and he watches ult fights and he just completely ignores everything that happens, and he watches neutral fights and he watches random people die and he just glosses over it to talk his point about here how like because they were shooting the TP early, which fucking every team does in every single situation, like that's why they won. And it's like, well, it's probably not actually, it's probably like one of a million things as to why they won, but like we're just only going to talk about that one thing. The problem is that they didn't have full vision. Also true.
And kill everybody who didn't take it.
Waiting. Ziad's still 30% away from his Ramatra ultimate, and all Falcons have been able to do now. Waiting. Ziad's still 30% away from his Ramatra ultimate, and all Falcons skies. Kellex the land.
Now, a large part of the reason Falcons is able to play this way is their comp, but the comp is a reflection of your game plan. Falcons understands how to win this matchup, and that's why they pick the characters. Crazy Raccoon failed to understand the matchup, and that's why they picked the wrong characters. If we go to
Crazy Raccoon didn't pick the wrong characters. Didn't they mirror? Like, oh, they played Sim. That's, I mean, they played Sig. That's
Crazy
right.
Raccoon failed to understand the matchup, and that's why they picked the wrong characters. If we go to Blizzard World, there's one more clear example of composition.
I think the idea of just kill them before they kill you is what they should have done. Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is with like almost every time that Cap makes one of these videos and he's talking about like a concept, right? The concepts that he's describing are always correct, right? Like you need to have good vision of the enemy. You need to have this, have that, have the other. Like his generalized concepts are always correct. But then I think that the examples he uses to illustrate his concepts always piss me off so much, because it's like, if you're going to make a video about a particular concept, could you at least pick a fight where the concept is actually fucking illustrated? Like, could you at least select a fight where they won because of what you were talking about? Because you actually show so much stuff that is just like nothing to do with what you're talking about.
Mismatch.
Unter, do you think I'd be a better coach than Cap? You'd have to ask Squid. Borger. Yeah, I mean,
Here, Crazy Raccoon
is Tracer
trying
banned
to
here?
venture Freya frontline.
Yeah.
In theory, we should be able to use our poke from our Freya and the combined dive threat from these two to stop good TPs from happening and to punish them.
I think that the reason Crazy Raccoon are going to lose this game is because Chorong is on Brig. So I think lots of what Crazy Raccoon are playing right now is good. But Chirong being on Brig, I remember I watched this back like loosely, and my general feeling was that like Chirong had good moments, but I think Brig is just so ass. I think like KSA has been playing Ram for the entire fucking series, and you self-ban Lucio to put Funny Astro on a flex support, and then for some reason you play the one support that gets hard counted by Ram. You know, like the only way Chirong can get value is by like getting over on the side and like brawling something out. But they're playing Sim, dog. Like they're playing Sim and they're playing Ram. Like there is no side to fight. So you're just taking the fucking piss by playing Brig for the entire series. He played it on defense. He played it on attack. He played so much Brig on this map. And it's like, there's just no way that you have self-banned Lucio to play Brig into KSA on Ram and UB on Sim on map 5. Like you're an actual crackhead. I thought it's rare that Crazy Raccoon loses on the draft, but this map 5 was a hardcore draft loss. Like this could be a serviceable draft decision if they played Bat Kiri or they played Juno Kiri. But the fact that they're playing Brig this entire time is genuinely outrageous throw. Like insane levels of throw. There's just nothing for Chirong to do in this comp. Like the only way Chirong can carry the game here is if Simple is permanently flanking and Chirong is able to block that flank constantly by 1v1ing him. It's just not going to happen.
There is one problem though. This dive is very...
Does Chirong ever play Juno? I think so. I think he died on Brig on the attack and then swapped to Juno or something. I don't know.
Reliant on a cycle. That cycle specifically being your Venture and your Ball getting their cooldowns back after they dive the first time, and more importantly, the time it takes them to set up in between dives. All Twisted Minds has to do is get an okay value TP and live this dive. After that, they need to hold some space and wait for the next TP. Crazy Raccoon, however, needs to set up, make this TP bad, and then set up again to make the next TP bad. Either that or find some way to hard punish a TP, which is really difficult against a comp with Cass and Sim and Ram. So hard punishing TPs is very, very difficult, and constantly keeping our cycle ahead of theirs to make the second TP and the third TP also bad is also very difficult.
That's such a mic spammer. Like, why are we talking about 3 layers of TPs right now? Like, I look at this comp and I think that Jonbin, Heesang, and Lip are all on good characters to fuck a TP. If someone TPs, like UB or Quartz or whatever TPs, and Heesang is well positioned, he can just drill the exit of the TP and boot them off it and they die. Jonbin, same thing. If he catches a TP, he can boot them off the exit, they die. Lip can fly up into the sky and do his big AoE damage and they die. Shu can try to jump away to the best of his ability. As long as he doesn't get TP'd on, he's fine. These 3 frontliners just need to make sure that they're always doing something so that then they can't TP on Shu, basically. Shu just needs to play Hell in a Cell and try to live to the best of his ability. It's a big, long map, so you can do that until the Sim has the perk. Chirong, he's the odd one out, right? Because you need like a Kiri or a Juno, like something that can either play far and heal and be impactful, or flank like Kiri and do damage. But for some reason, Chirong is on a dogshit hero that can do nothing. So I think Chirong is the problem. You can boot the exit of the TP, but you can't even fight it afterwards because you're going to get run out by a Ram. You're going to die. So you should really be on Kiri here. Anyway, let's watch. Because I have no idea what the fuck Cap just said. Like,
here, Jumpin hits early and is able to make this first TP bad. They TP'd here to point, and Heesang is trying to punish it. However, like we said a second ago, actually punishing this TP is very, very difficult. My Ball used his resources to make the TP bad, and my Venture does not have enough on his own. My backline also has no real strong cooldowns or follow-up on this dive, since we're on Bat Brig. With that understanding, we need to just cycle back and stop the next TP.
okay, so he's saying that his backline can't follow up here, but you know, I don't know how to tell you that the ball just slammed and did damage to everybody on Twisted Minds, 5 players. And then the Venture here has an opportunity to hit 5 players as well. Like, why are they all in the air? Are they all in the air because of a Venture boot? Does Venture's boot when you're under the ground not do damage or something?
Here, Jumpin hits early and is able to make this first TP bad.
What's going on here? Okay, so when Venture boops you underground, they do like no damage. But to me, this looks like a pretty good one, to be honest, because all 5 players got hit, and then Venture is in position to get like a multiple player unburrow. I think the problem is perhaps that Heesang used his drill. What are they called? Is it drill, dash, and burrow? Those are the abilities, right? Like, I don't really understand the rationale of like drill dashing under the ground when you could unburrow and then drill dash away to try and find a kill. Venture does boop and do minimal damage underground. So yeah, I think like the problem here isn't like compositional, and it definitely isn't the fact that Jumpman did something wrong. I think as is what's starting to feel typical of this series is that it's all Heesang's fault, because by booping under the ground, he puts it all on Lip to do the damage and get the kill, which again, I guess I'm blaming Heesang because there's 5 players in the air right now. Lip could just as easily and Shu could just as easily drill someone out of the sky. Like, their movement is shit and easy while they're in the air. That's the best opportunity for Lip to double bolt someone in the sky and kill them. Or for Shu to like triple headshot someone and kill them. And Jumpman, if he didn't fuck up his grapple here, like maybe he could have like kept some momentum going and like rolled back in and done some more damage. But yeah, I don't think that this is really like a Jumpman problem. I think that like he's saying here, like drilling under the ground and 5-man booping is like a little bit less value than splitting someone off and booping them up afterwards and then drilling away and like doing more damage. Because now like he's saying will come out of the ground and he won't be able to drill away anymore.
To make the TP bad, and my Venture does not have enough on his own. My backline also has no real strong to just cycle back and stop the next.
So he says he should cycle back and stop the next TP, and I think that's completely wrong. So yeah, like I think here it's just like they had a hit on the TP. He's saying didn't do enough. Lip missed a shot. Shu didn't kill anyone. They still got some skills out. They're fine. There's like another turn ready to come. Rolling in again. Doesn't slam.
That's way easier said than done. Junbin and Heesang don't have great pathing options. They're very easy to punish by the cast, and if they hard slam this, it's very obvious.
You get drill back under the ground. If you don't have an instant 5k on your diving gauge, it's a fail. Yeah, I mean, obviously you get drill back under the ground. It like accelerates the regen of your cooldown, but you understand that there's like a really slim margin where you need to do something when they come out of the TP. Like, if you use your drill when he did, that means that Heesang is going to want to stay under the ground for multiple seconds while he should be out of the ground fighting and booping and doing something really like carry, because he's jerking off under the ground waiting for his drill to be online, so when he comes out of the ground he doesn't die. That's the problem. Like, if you need to sit under the ground in the middle of the fight, much like on Circuit Royale when he's sitting in a corner making a car wash because he doesn't want to die, you're going to lose the game. I think Heesang knows better than you, sweetie. Okay, Chuggacha. Well, then tell me how many maps Heesang won on Venture compared to, you know, rocking the Farah.
It's very easy for Twisted Minds to just sit here and wait for the next TP. This TP is also going to be good, almost assuredly.
Because this stuff here is like a real war of attrition, because Shu is going to be like a target, or Lip is going to be a target. If this team gets close enough to the objective, they're going to start pressuring the objective, which means that you have to do something. And then Shu's going to have to peek, and Lip's going to have to peek, and they're going to lose. Until they're touching the point, until they're close to the point, doesn't really matter. But once they're up to the point, you really start losing to these comps. And then here, rolls through, doesn't see an opportunity, gets a slam on nothing. Once you have to slam the tank, that sucks. Had to use his E as well. Just roly-poly, they're set up on the point.
This TP forces Crazy Raccoon's backline to rotate and also forces Jumbin to fight the cast here. This TP leaves CR with almost no CDs left and definitely no setup. The next TP from Twisted is almost assuredly going to get value. Now, in the fight that plays out, Lip gets 2 picks because he's Lip, but the value from this TP is too much, and eventually they win a very long, drawn-out fight.
Here, Shu died with his lamp in a position where they TP'd him onto him on the ground, and he could have lamped and then jumped up to a high ground and been fine, if you even care. But yeah, I mean, it actually looks like Crazy Raccoon's playing really well. And if you had to pick one fucking imposter, it's going to be the person that we very briefly glossed over for 0.1 seconds, where again, Capitology, legend of completely ignoring the important things in the fight. It's the fact that Chirong is actually on a character with no gun that gets TP'd on and dies, and he has 30% of his ult. Also, I have no idea in the last turn when he's saying, like, I don't know what Heesang did in this turn. He did something, right? His ult charge has gone up 20%. But again, in classic Capitology fashion, we're going to watch a clip of Jumbin, like 3 turns in a row, doing something and like being really active and preventing his team from losing the game. And we're just going to talk about the tank being at fault because he's a Korean tank player on a dive tank. And we're going to completely ignore the fact that one of the supports is throwing the game. Just in the same big turn, actually. It's like both turns, Chirong is throwing the game. Heesang is throwing the game, and in both turns, he wants to blame Jumpman. Like, kill Cat with hammers.
Going to be simple.
Here, Shu is dead with his lamp, and there's a high ground right here that he can jump to get away. But let me tell you something. This looks like Jumpman's fault.
The game plan against Sim is simple in theory, but it's hard to execute. Pressure them early and limit their TP options. If they can't get off good TPs for free, they're going to need to do at least 1 or 2 medium value TPs early on in the fight. Once you've done that, you need the ability to punish those medium value TPs, either by going past them and punishing the people left behind, or by actually fighting.
Wait, this is the end of the video?
If you're on a comp that struggles to do these things, you will struggle to win. Do not be the team that loses on the big stage trying to prove that your comp is better. Please do not die on your sword, and please, NA and KR, stop making EU look so good at these tournaments.
You see, the problem, Cap, is that all you do by making these videos is you make NA look even fucking dumb.